Hi, and welcome to this Keynote animation tutorial for beginners, where I'm going to show you step by step how you can use Keynote to produce professionally looking animated videos in explainer style with drag and drop simplicity. Now let's have a quick look at the demo video that we will recreate together today in Keynote.
Tired of taking selfies? Are you stressed in front of the camera? At Photoshoot123.com, we got you covered. Update your LinkedIn profile with a professional photo, or update your dating apps and have people literally fall in love with the new you. The possibilities are endless. Sign up now and get started.
Alright, that looks pretty awesome, right? And don't worry if this feels a little bit overwhelming right now. I promise you'll be able to do the exact same thing using Keynote with drag and drop simplicity without any previous animation experience. So Keynote is super awesome because it comes pre-installed on all Macs, it's free, and it's an amazing piece of software. So the method that we're going to use today to produce such an animated video is by using something called STOCK GIFs. So you probably already know what GIFs are. If you don't, they're basically animated GIF images, right? And stock GIFs are basically professional GIFs built and animated by professionals. It's like a library of ready-to-use assets that you can just drag and drop into your presentation. So I already have a couple of stock GIFs selected here and some music as well and the voiceover for this project. And don't worry, I'm going to show you at the end of this video the best place online where you can get professional stock GIF animations for your Keynote project. Now, I already have a script written for this video. Of course, that's a separate topic for a separate video. We're not going to cover that here. And for most videos, you will need a voiceover as well. Again, the voiceover is kind of a separate topic. If you want me to teach you how to record the voiceover and write a highly persuasive script, let me know and I'll make a video on that as well. But I'll just assume you already have that. I have all my assets here as well. And as a bonus, I'm actually going to include all the assets for this tutorial so you can download for free and follow along in Keynote. Download link in the description. All right. Now, I already have my script and I selected the suitable stock GIFs for each scene. So I already kind of know from my research and preparation that my project is going to have 8 slides. So I'm just going to create new slides. But every single time I actually have to remove those text elements. So a faster way is to just right click and duplicate. And I'm going to go ahead and make 8 slides. Basically, I'm going to have 8 scenes. All right. Now, let's start adding the GIF animations to each scene. So in the first scene, I'm talking about tired of taking selfies. So I have this GIF animation of a woman using a phone to take a selfie. Really cool stuff. And as you can see, we can find the GIF animations with the same character doing different things. We can find different genders, different ethnicities, icons, anything that you want to tell your story, you're going to be able to find it. All right, next scene is this woman being stressed. All right, cool stuff. Next, we had this camera. And right now with the camera, you don't really see it because it actually starts from a blank screen. That's a bit of an inconvenience, let's say, but if you click play, it's going to be very easy to just move around. But otherwise, it looks like it's not even there, but you just got to keep in mind that it's actually there. All right. Actually, for this scene, so this is the scene where we introduce the name of the company and the logo, but we don't have a logo. It's an imaginary company, so I just use this cute icon. And let's just actually add a text element as well, which would be the URL or the name of the company. In this case, Photoshoot123.com. Honestly, I didn't even check this if it exists. Just remove the link. All right, go to text. Let's change the font. I personally like Montserrat quite a lot, so let's go with that. I'm going to make it bold and definitely increase the size to, I don't know, let's see. Maybe like, 81 looks fine. And I want to change the text color to black so we can have better contrast like this. Now let's play this so we can make sure it's aligned perfectly. All right, I think that looks good. I'm happy with this. All right, let's keep going. So scene number 4, this is where we have the exact same character as before, but this time dressed a little bit more formally, let's say, more official, because we're talking about taking photos for LinkedIn. So drop another icon here, which again, you cannot see, but trust me, it's there. So resize this as well, just to balance out the composition like this, looking good. All right. In the next scene, we had this, what was it? So we had another icon, which you cannot see, but it's there. Resize it a little bit. And we have the same main character as before, using her phone. So let's see. Yeah, I think it looks balanced. I like that. And in this scene, we wanted to make things even more dynamic. So I actually introduced 3 different characters at the same time on screen. As you can see them here, it's 3 guys falling in love. It's a bit difficult to select the right one, but we'll get there. Oops. There you go. Position them on screen like this. All right. And the last scene, we're very close to finishing assembling our scenes. The last scene, usually in a video, one of the last couple of scenes is like a moment of celebration, right? Your main character had a problem, and now the main character found a solution, so she's happy, and we want to show that positive emotions and end the video on that. And then on the last slide, it's basically a call to action, usually in the last scene. And here I just want to copy paste what we have here because it's really nice. And it's this logo, let's say, and a piece of text. So I'm gonna drag and select like this, right click, copy, go here and paste. All right, maybe, yeah. All right. And one thing that I need to do now is just change the text, because I know in the voiceover and actually the call to action to our amazing demo video said sign up now. All right. So now it actually starts to come to life and it's kind of looking like something. But next thing, we need to start adding the audio. So I already have the voiceover here, as I said previously. So I'll go ahead and drag and drop it into our project. And then I also have some music as well, because if you don't have music in the background, it gets kind of boring. So adding this here. All right. Personally, I like to move them out of the frame, although I don't think you can actually see them during a slideshow presentation, but it's fine. Just leave them here. So let's have a look at each one. If you select them like this, here on the right on the sidebar, if you have format opened, you can go to audio and you can see that this one selected is the music. So if I play it back like that, it's pretty loud. So definitely reduce the volume. Something along those lines. All right. And we want to disable this one, start audio and click, because we want the audio to just start automatically. And we want to play the audio across all slides, so make sure this is enabled. But if you read the text, it's going to tell you that you actually need to copy this element throughout all the slides, because otherwise it's not going to play in the future slides unless it's actually present in all of them. But before we do that, let's go to this one as well, which is the voiceover. Start on click, disable that, and play audio across slides. So I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by that. But first, let's go into play mode and play the slideshow.
Tired of taking selfies? Are you stressed in front?
So now we just move to the next scene and it stopped playing the audio at all. So we're just going to copy those two. Right click, copy, go here, paste, and just do this for all the slides. All right. Now let's see if it works.
Tired of taking selfies? Are you stressed in front of the camera? At photoshoot123.com, we got you.
So it definitely works, but if you're familiar with any sort of presentation software, Keynote, PowerPoint, whatever, you actually have to press play for some elements to start playing. So in our case, GIFs don't actually play by default. You need to press the space bar. So we're going to change that in a minute. So now, one thing that I want to do before we get to that is I want to change the background of all of our scenes. So to do that, first I want to select all of them like this by dragging and selecting all of them. And here on the right, under Format, make sure it's turned on. You can go to Color Fill, and you can either select a color from here, but I don't know if I like them, to be honest. So I want to be a little bit more specific, and I'm going to open the color wheel to select, let's say, I don't know, something a little bit lighter like this. All right, I think that looks much better. So now it's starting to look and feel like a video, but we need to work on when the animations start. So again, as I said earlier, when you press spacebar, that's usually when you tell Keynote that you want the next element to start playing. So let's start fixing that and tell Keynote that we want the GIFs and all the elements to just play automatically. All right, so let's go to the first one. Select the lady here in the middle, our main character. And if we go to animate, actually here, sorry. So if you go here on the right under animate, go to build order, and let's just say, so we have 3 elements and we want all of them to start after transition. So it doesn't matter the order. I'm just going to select the first one, whichever, and click after transition. So this basically means that once this first slide starts or finishes the transition to begin, the GIF is going to play automatically. And then go to this one. It says after build 1. We don't really want it to start after. We want it to start with, so at the same time. And then go to this music as well and click with build 1. So both items 2 and 3 will start at the same time with this one. So let's see how that works.
Tired of taking selfies? Are you stressed in front of...
All right, so that worked exactly as we intended. Now let's do the exact same thing for all the GIFs in our video or Keynote project, right? So this one, select the GIF in the middle, go to animate, here on the bottom, build order, and we want this after transition. Next, you don't need to do anything with those. You can just leave it as it is. You only had to do that on the first slide for the audio. Go here. Don't forget you got an icon here with the camera. So I'm just going to quickly do the same thing for all of them. Make sure the GIF is selected after transition. Cool. All right. Select the woman after transition. And then we have the LinkedIn icon here on the left. Don't forget about that one. With build 1, which is this one, the woman is build 1, or could have been the other way around. The LinkedIn icon could be build 1, and then this could be item 2. Doesn't matter. All right. It gets a bit repetitive, but hey, you got to do it. So, all right. So here, actually, I want to show you something interesting. So let's assume instead of 3 different characters that we want to appear at the same time, let's assume that maybe we had 3 different icons, right? That we don't want them to appear at the same time. Maybe we want icon 1 to appear. We talk about it for 5 seconds. And then we bring icon 2 because we talk about it in a new sentence. We finish talking about icon 2, and then we bring icon 3 and so on. In that case, you want to have the first icon start after the transition. So it basically appears and does its thing. And then you might want to bring in icon number 2 on click. So basically, let the voiceover finish what it's saying about this icon. And if it was a new icon here later on, make sure it's on click so that you can press spacebar and it starts animating. But in our case, we don't have that right now. I'm just keeping things simple, but I'm just letting you know that it's also possible. So with build 1, select the third guy right here with build 1. All right. Same thing here. Build order. After transition. After transition. Okay, cool. So now let's have a quick look. Keep in mind, I'm going to press spacebar only to move between slides, and let's see how it looks.
Tired of taking selfies? Are you stressed in front of the camera? At photoshoot123.com, we got you covered. Update your LinkedIn profile with a professional photo. Or
all right, I'm not going to go through all of it right now because I noticed one thing. I don't know if it stood out to you. So basically the text is not a GIF, so it doesn't really have any animation, right? So I want to make it a little bit more dynamic rather than just appearing on screen like this.
Tired of taking
So to do that, make sure you select the text element, go here to animate, build in, and add an effect. Personally, I like to keep things simple. For me, simple are the best animations. So I just like this one, move in. Left to right, really nice. 1 second duration, that's fine. You can also change it maybe, I don't know, bottom to top, let's say, if you want that. Preview, looks good to me. All right. But now, because we never really touched upon this one, we got to go again to build order. And right now, this text element only starts animating on click. So if we want to avoid that, which we do, let's go to with build free, which means that all of them are gonna basically start playing at the same time. And let's do that at the end as well in this slide. So add a built-in animation, move in. I actually like this left to right, so let's stick with that. Build order with build free. All right, let's check if that works as intended. And also keep in mind, if I play the slideshow from this slide instead of from the beginning, the music and the audio are actually going to start playing from the beginning instead. So it's not really going to match what's happening on screen, but it doesn't matter right now.
Tired of taking selfies?
All right, so as you saw,
Tired of taking selfies?
the text animated at the same time with the GIF appearing, so everything was perfect. Okay, so we're actually getting close to finishing up this video. But before we do that, before we tell Keynote what the exact timings should be between slides or scenes, let's see if we want to add any sort of scene transitions. I'm not personally a big fan of those, but I'm just going to show you what it's possible. So let's say you want a transition between this scene and this scene, right? So if you select this one and you go here under animate, you're going to be able to add the transitions in between scenes. And again, personally, I like to keep things simple. So you can do a push, let's say, and it's going to move it out of the way, right to left, and reveal the next scene. So let's try to do this one more time here. Add an effect, push for like around 1 second or so, and just super nice. Now that's one way to add transitions. You can actually add transitions between scenes, but you can also add transitions for each individual element. So even if it's GIFs. So let's say because this scene has 2 elements, I just have a feeling it would look really nice if each element would fly in from the sides. So for this LinkedIn animation, if I have it selected, go here to build in, change. Let's add move in. It's going to be left to right. Let's do it for like 1 second or so. And for this one, let's build in, change, move in. And I don't want to have her from left to right. I want her to come from the right to the left. All right. And again, you can do this for all the scenes, all the elements. Personally, I like to keep things simple. But actually, I think this is another great opportunity. Let's add some interesting transitions here for each individual element. So select the first guy, change, move in. Left to right, I think that works well. I'm going to do the guy on the right. I'm going to add him to right to left. Right? Okay. And this guy in the middle, let's do move in again, but the direction I want it to be bottom to top. So now they kind of appear like this. And on top of that, I'm also going to add a transition between this scene and this scene. So make sure you have the scene selected here, add a transition. So push, and for the direction, I don't want it right to left, I want it bottom to top. So it's gonna transition scenes like this, but also each individual element in this next scene are going to appear individually as well. So let's play this whole thing from the beginning and see how it feels. Keep in mind, you still have to manually press spacebar at this point to skip from one scene, to basically move, not to skip, to move from one scene to another. So let's go ahead and do that.
Tired of taking selfies? Are you stressed in front of the camera? At photoshoot123.com, we got you covered. Update your LinkedIn profile with a professional photo, or update your dating apps and have people literally fall in love with the new you. The possibilities are endless. Sign up now and get started.
All right, so if you noticed, I kind of messed up one of the timings for the transitions from one scene to another, but that happens and it's perfectly fine. It doesn't matter. We're still working on this, and you're not always going to get it right. Which actually brings me to my next point. In terms of animations and elements and text and GIFs and whatever, I'm really happy with what we have so far. So for me, this is a final video and I'm getting close to exporting it. But before we export it, we need to teach Keynote what the exact timings should be between each slide. So let's minimize it a little bit like this. And if you go here under play, there's a function called record slideshow. So press on that. And here we're going to show Keynote exactly how long we want each scene to be like. So first of all, make sure you mute the microphone down here. And once I'm going to press record, it's going to start playing the slideshow. And I need to press spacebar at the perfect time to move to the next scene. So let's go ahead and do that.
Tired of taking selfies? Are you stressed in front of the camera? At photoshoot123.com, we got you covered. Update your LinkedIn profile with a professional photo, or update your dating apps and have people literally fall in love with the new you. The possibilities are endless. Sign up now and get started.
All right, so when you're done, you got to press the record button to stop. And here we can see we have our timeline, and you can kind of move from one scene to another. And again, you might not get this process perfect on the first try. If you mess up the timings, no problem. Just go all the way to the beginning and do a new recording until you get all the timings perfectly. And if you want to check your timings, you can just click play to preview.
Tired of taking selfies? Are you stressed in...
All right. Now let's assume our timings are perfect, and now we are ready to export the video. So to do that, just go here on the top left to File, Export to, and we will export to Movie. All right, so here in the settings, couple of things. Keep it simple. Make sure you have slideshow recording, because otherwise it's not going to take into account the things we just did just now, the timings of each scene. So make sure this is selected. And for resolution, go with 1080p, or you can go to custom if you want to use any specific settings, but let's just keep it simple. 1080p, it's going to work perfectly fine. And then click next. And now let's just export it on our desktop, Keynote, Animation, and click export. And now it's exporting the Keynote to a video. So this is going to take, I don't know, a minute, 2 minutes, I don't know, depends on the project that you just made and your computer as well. So as you can see, this was incredibly simple to do. All we needed was some stock GIFs. We just drag and drop them on our Keynote project in the correct order. We added a couple of transitions in between scenes, a couple of transitions for specific elements. We dropped in our audio, the music, and the voiceover. And it took us, I don't know, maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes. I don't even know really. But it was all straight to the point, super, super simple. And as you can see, anyone can produce professionally looking animated videos, explainer style videos in Keynote by using something called stock GIFs. Now, the big question is, where can you find professionally animated stock GIFs? You might be able to find some free GIF images on Google, but those are usually GIF memes or low-quality amateur GIFs that are, first of all, not suitable for our animating purpose, and second of all, you do not have the right license to use them without getting into trouble for copyright infringement. The only place online dedicated exclusively to stock GIF animations is videoplasty.com, the world's only animation-first stock platform. Full disclosure, I'm Edward Stinga, founder of Videoplasty. We built Videoplasty with one single goal in mind: to make animation easy, simple, and accessible to everyone, regardless of budget or previous animation experience. That's why we build and curate professionally animated assets that you can have access to with drag and drop simplicity, compatible with all of your favorite presentation software. Have a look on the website. We have plenty of characters, icons, scenes, and a lot more. Our items are generally sold individually, but are also available in bundles at a massively discounted price. Pricing is also very simple and straightforward. You can either pay per item, or you can choose a monthly subscription with the download credits or unlimited downloads. Use the discount code in the description to get 25% off your first order. This was Edward Stinga, founder of Videoplasty.com. If you watched all the way to the end, you are awesome. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and until next time, stay creative.